Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're not. Go ahead and like this video, comment down below. Let me know where y'all from. Let me know if you're a fan of Young Dolph, Gucci Mane, Big Scar. Let me know who y'all rocking with. Let's get right into it, man. As soon as Big30 found out that Gucci Mane was gonna be cutting ties with basically a lot of people from Memphis who was like not with him and not rocking with Dolph and everything. So as soon as Big30 found out about that, he gave back the chains to Moneybagg. He gave back the CMG chain back to Gotti because he realized, he's like, look, if he has to pick between the two, because Big30 was really rocking with Dolph too, but the fact that Gucci Mane was trying to get him at first to sign the 1017 because Big30 and Pooh Shiesty are literally best friends. Some people even consider them to be closely related, like they fam or cousins or something like that. Just like how Pooh Shiesty is cousins with Big Scar. They actual cousins, like they real, it's in paperwork, it's on Ancestry and everything like that. So now what you got to understand is that Big30 didn't want to lose no opportunities between the feud between Moneybagg and Gucci Mane. So he said, look, Gucci Mane would have progressed him way further. It would have catapulted him into a whole nother scene. So Big30's like, man, Moneybagg and Gotti and them, they ain't really, yeah, they helped, but it was all because of the work Big30 was putting in and the feature that he got with Gucci Mane. Like Big30's biggest song is still the feature with Gucci Mane. So when they in the red Rolls Royce, like the whole 4-door drop top. And so the thing is that y'all got to understand he had to be picking sides, like who we want to rock with. We ain't seen Moneybagg and Big30 pop out in too long. That's why Big30 gave back all the chains to Moneybagg. He said, you know what? I took your chain at first when y'all gave it to me, but now that y'all trying to be hospitable to Gucci Mane because of the whole incident where Gucci Mane was trying to come into Memphis and really like Gotti and Moneybagg and them wasn't really all into that because of the fact that they against Dolph. So anybody that's coming in and that's riding for Dolph, they basically already become the opposition side to CMG, which is dumb anyways because they should have never bothered Dolph. Like everybody all said that they should have left Dolph alone. They should have never did anything to Dolph because all that did was just open up a can of worm into a whole nother situation that's going to overspill about the fact that Memphis still thinks that Dolph is the king of Memphis. And so when Memphis speaks, when Memphis makes their mind up, then that's just the way it is because they basically running CMG out of town. Like they really don't, they don't mess with them and rock with them like that no more. They ain't did no turkey drives for them. They didn't do no backpack giveaways, no gift holiday things, exchanges, and nothing like that. Matter of fact, they basically took the money and ran, and they just try to control like anybody else coming up out of Memphis. They want to make sure it goes through CMG. And so Big30 wasn't feeling that. So he had a conversation with Gucci Mane and they decided, look, he's going to temporarily give back the chains to Moneybagg and them because of all this chain snatching that's going on. Like next thing you know, it's like people could retaliate, and just because Lil Migo got his taken by Jizzle and all of them, then it's like if Big30's walking around with his CMG chains, like they might get him next, or if he walk around with the bread gang chain. And so at the end of the day, it's like they shouldn't have even gave him them chains. They could have really just actually got cash in hand or started a business instead of getting those chains. So while everybody is over there concerned about what chain they're going to get, if they're going to get a CMG chain, then it's like, oh, why didn't they just ask to, instead of getting the chain, they could have got that in bread and actual money cash, and they could have went and started a business with that and tripled up, doubled up their bread. Because if they try to get money back for the chains that they got given to them, they gonna come to find out that it was all moissanite CZs and that it ain't really worth nothing. So if they advance, get shrunken down, or if the times get tough because there ain't no bookings going on and all that, when times get tough, since that Finesse 2 Times concert, it's like nobody is really getting booked because they don't want nobody to have any type of issues come up. They got to figure all that first and figure, okay, where's the people that's doing all these things where they run up on stage? Like what city is all that happening in? Because the promoters, they don't want to book nobody in those same cities. Like that whole thing happened in Tennessee and Knoxville. That's not too far from Memphis. That's just like a little, a couple hours at most from Memphis. And so when you really look at it, it's like they waiting until they do something like way far away from that, or they trying to go work with a whole lot of other people. And so that's why they're like, okay, because of the chains being snatched, because of the whole thing with the concerts, the Finesse 2 Time, the things with CMG, Moneybagg Yo Gotti, and don't even forget Black Youngster and all of them, and the whole situation with Dolph. While they all worried about the chain snatching and this and that, Dolph and his people would have really tripled up and doubled up with all the businesses. Like Dolph said, he had the CPA, he had all the things, he had a deal. He put deals through, like that whole thing with the cookie shop. That was basically Dolph's deal, technically. And so that's what a lot of people were saying. Not only that, but the fact that Dolph ain't want to sign to Yo Gotti. So that's where all of that hate started from, is because Dolph was his own boss. He was a hustler. Before the music, before the videos and all that, he already had bread. Dolph was already riding in a foreign whip before all of that. And so that's why a lot of people, they get confused, because they think that the majority of the people who came up that same way, they was slow, didn't really have nothing going on. And then luckily one of the songs took off, or one of them, the music video took off or something like that, right? And then that's when they get their bread, and then that's why they go spaz out and crash out, because they ain't never really had no type of bread before. So they don't know how to actually handle their business in a way to where it's like you want to actually keep anything that's related to getting bread, and like those things you want to keep around you. So the people who actually out there, who was flipping everything, doing the whole business and everything, that's who Dolph stayed around. He didn't want to hang out with Yo Gotti, and then because of the fact that they was ripping off people, lowballing the artists, shelving them and all that, he didn't need to do none of that. He had his own bread. So people forgot about that he already came into the game with a foreign whip, bread in his pocket, his own spot and everything like that. So they thought he was like the other people who was broke until their music took off. And so that's the difference, is that Dolph already was a hustler. He already knew how to move in a certain way. He already knew what he needed to do with his bread. He already knew what he needed to do with opening new businesses and keeping them going and expand them and all that. And so because of that reason, that's what made him his own boss. He was a made man. So basically, he never needed Yo Gotti. He never needed CMG. And so that's where the jealousy and the hate came in, because they try to say that he was jealous, but really they only saying how they really feel about him. So they call him jealous, but actually they the jealous ones, because he never needed them. They need him more than Dolph needed them. So that's really the situation with Yo Gotti. And then when the baby mama got thrown in the mix in that, he was like, wait, because Dolph really needed to, or Yo Gotti was really trying to sign Dolph so he could get more bread, because he needed that. But Dolph didn't need them. And so if he wasn't, then Yo Gotti was like, okay, well, if you ain't gonna help me, then that's when he turned his back on him and started acting completely different. He wanted a beef to happen. And so Dolph was just trying to live his own life and enjoy everything coming in, taking care of his family and everything like that. And then, CMG and them, they made it their whole sole purpose to try to find a way, because they felt like they was going to get left behind, that they're going to get ran out of town, and that everything business-wise was going to go to Dolph. But in reality, they could have stayed in their own lane, never had an issue, and everybody would have been making the bread. But at the end of the day, it's how you save it, how you do it with the business comes in, and what you do with the bread, and how you flip it, save it, the type of investments. That's really what's going to decide whether you lose it all, keep it all, or you move forward, you expand and get bigger, or maybe you even could get out the game and make multiple different businesses to where you automate it all, you hire people and all that, have your own companies. That's what people really need to be doing. But see, back then, people in Memphis wasn't thinking like that. Yo Gotti wasn't thinking like that. They never had nobody to actually see that. They never went and looked for the type of relationships they could have with business partners to figure out how to actually do what they need to do once they get bread coming in. And so that's the thing. So that's what differentiates a lot of people. That's what differentiates the rappers from the hustlers. That's what, differentiates everybody. So y'all got to understand that, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video, comment down below. Let me know if you're a fan of Young Dolph, Gucci Mane, Big Scar, Big30. And basically, I'm gonna catch you on the next video with some big breaking news update. So I'm gonna see you right then and there.